After long years of long wandering, I have come to you again.
That doesn't mean you have to always make yourself optimal to others.
Look, here's the thing.
Listen,
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
We have few rules, like for example,
We don't need the theory of everything, and we don't even need the unifying principle.
what about the spring colleges? Give everybody little spankings.
To, for example, destroy something inside the body by using those resonance frequencies and overstimulating those vibrations until something you're trying to get rid of explodes or disappears completely.
I couldn't stop, and it got to the point to where I was puking blood.
Like finding this connection, that's kind of what love is. It's like it allows you to forget whatever the absurdity.
I'm a rock addict. I need to have these rocks at all costs.
It's a minor difference, but it is a big difference.
See, be brave. There it comes. In one stroke, go. You can do all these great big rocks. See them living out here? Look at them. Look at them.
I am afraid. Afraid of what? I'm afraid that I will be locked up again.
If you talk to a lot of people who've been through it, that's what happens, that's what you see.
Sex ratios, you can get genetic bottlenecking, which can cause crashes, and quite frankly,
A little bit more unhinged.
When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
The Platonic world being part of a bigger picture, which has to do with other things than... You see, that's to do with truth, if you like.
You went through, you blew through, 10,000 bushes of rose to create 5 milliliters of a rose fragrance.
And I don't think NASA ground control wants to allow this, as Greg is an astronaut, so I don't think he will have a problem exploiting the space left behind.
They're going to move away from each other since they are going to repel like charges, and they're going to change the voltage in this next segment. What does that do? It hits threshold again and opens.
he forgot one very important thing, and that's I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
The different parts of the self are learning from each other.
The trouble is, I think it's not a concept which people appreciate usually.
There is this divide between this side of you that's so appealing, but kind of hidden.
Here I'll show you how to tell if one is legit using email authentication methods that most big websites use, at least, which are the ones that are most targeted by scammers anyway.
You can do it periodically with a repeating pattern. If that were true, then there would be an algorithm. But it's not true, because there are certain ways of tiling a plane which do not
Have a repeating pattern.
repeating patterns.
And you have to decide how many stones live in your world.
Imagine that a bridge is soundly built and that it is soundly built. That's something that it doesn't come up in too many realms of human existence, but love is one of them.
I mean, he does look kind of weird. I don't know what's so wrong with him.
Is there a fundamental link? I mean, when we say non-computational, it is not non-computational. Does that mean, or does that not mean, by definition, that consciousness in some deep level is free?
He preset the position. Oh wow, he tricked me?
It's honestly like a more intense feeling.
Like entering in a swimming competition, having your hands tied your hands behind your back before jumping into the pool.
I woke up in a different state. Not knowing how I got there, no recollection whatsoever. I woke up in Chicago. I don't know anybody in Chicago. Why?
Rah, 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 rah. And it does make sense, but also doesn't.
We human beings tend to experience ourselves as something separate from the whole we call the universe. This is actually an optical illusion of our consciousness. It's like a prison for us.
I don't care that this is impossible. Let's assume it is. Where does it take us?
We all of a sudden see a separation in charge. Since this is a positive charge here, it's moving out. We have a separation of that charge, and it's a relatively negative charge on the inside.
If you're leaving the world of agreement like this, which is very frightening, if you're taken to a doctor here, you're not told you're gifted. You're usually told that you have a mental problem.
Okay, so pretend that actually works.
What are you doing, buddy? Mind if I smoke?
Cool it down to drink. And having a filter system would be more convenient for us.
Everybody says that. Everybody fucking says that, and that's another reason I got away with a lot of shit.
A catalyst speeds up a reaction, but it doesn't actually take part in the reaction.
Vibrates a little bit on the tip of this board, you're actually going to amplify these vibrations dramatically, allowing them to be seen as these large oscillations of the board itself.
Picture of who you are, who you want to be.
Exactly. And that sort of ends up defining you.
And I can't get it, but I also wanted to get fucked up at the same time.
Is that a country or
It's a picture which I've used. I'm not sure whether it completely concurs with my current views, but go on.
Do you think it's like that for everybody to a certain extent? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, do you think it is for everybody? I'm just asking. I honestly don't know.
Embracing the madness of this idea and making it a life pursuit somehow morphs reality around you. For some tiny fraction of the population, for everybody else, you descend into...
I'm just gonna puke it all up. And he's like, oh, well, that's hot. And I'm like, all right, you LA people are a little bit of a different breed, but whatever.
Right? It's not reasonable on the face of it, but because you believe it's reasonable, then it actually does become reasonable, and then it is real.
is Lord of the Back Door getting backdoored here?
He's returning to his homeland. He's an outsider thinking, journeying out into the unknown, thinking he may be able to discover something greater than the tribe.
That was probably the lowest moment, and you learn a lot about yourself in those moments. You know, what's left, and then what are the
things you've done in your life were just kind of doors opened.